to my YouTube channel. Let's get into it. I'm Kenyatta, but you will refer to me as Dr. Kenyatta or Dr. K. Now, I tried to do this reading earlier for my client, but my Wi-Fi is acting a goddamn fool. So we're going to try this again. And if my Wi-Fi acts a goddamn fool, then we'll do it again. And if my Wi-Fi acts a goddamn fool, then we'll do it again. And if my Wi-Fi acts a goddamn fool, then guess what? We'll do it again. So I was in my office today after I got done working with the children. Left up out of there with a bit of a sore throat, but you know I know what to do for that. Kids been sick all week long. But nevertheless, I don't want to hold you. I'm doing a live reading for a client who walked into my office today after I got done working with the children, like I said. I had time to sit there and do the reading for him because my throat was bothering me. I said I better go get me what I need. Vitamin C. It'll clear out that shit quickly. But nevertheless, my client is waiting on his reading. Brother came in my office today and he said, Dr. Kenyatta. He said, I need a reading. I said, well, what's your question? He said, I have to tell you the story first. I said, well, what's your story? And then after you tell me your story, then you can tell me the question. He sat down. Got a little quiet, got a little somber. I just sat, not knowing what was about to come my way. You know, just cool, calm, collected Dr. K. So he started to speak. He told me, he said, it was the 3rd of September. He said, that day I'll always remember. I said, why? He said, well, that was the day that my daddy died. He said, I never got a chance to meet him. He said, I never heard nothing but bad things about him. Oh. He said he told his mama, I'm depending on you to tell me the truth. He said his mama just hung her head and said, son, Papa was a rolling stone. See, wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. I said, Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left y'all was alone. He said, yeah. He said, I looked at my mama and I said, hey, mama, is it true what they say about Papa, that he never worked a day in his life? I said, what your mama say? He said, mama said, and mama, she didn't answer him right then. He said, some bad talk going around town saying that Papa had 3 outside children and another wife. I said, ooh. And we both said, that ain't right. He said he heard some talk, Papa doing some storefront preaching, talking about saving souls, and all the time leeching, dealing in dirt, and stealing in the name of the Lord. Mama just hung her head and said, I said, well, what did she say that time? She said, Papa was a rolling stone, son. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. I looked at this man sitting across from me. He bent himself at the waist, put his chin in his hands. Tears began to roll down his cheeks. He looked anxious, tormented, alone, and afraid. He said, I said to my mama, hey mama, I heard Papa called himself a jack of all trades. Tell me, is that what sent Papa to an early grave? Folks say, Papa would beg, borrow, and steal to pay his bills. Hey mama, he said. Folks say Papa never was much on thinking. Spent most of his time chasing women and drinking. Mama, I'm depending on you to tell me the truth. But he said his mama looked up with a tear in her eye and said, Papa was a rolling stone, son. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. So I said to the man sitting across from me, I said, well, what's your question? The sad story, but tell me, what's your question? I have to stay somewhat emotionally disconnected so I can help the client in need. He said, Dr. Kenyatta, I just want you to tell me, Dr. Kenyatta. Yes, what is it that you want me to tell you? He said, Dr. Kenyatta, I want you to tell me. Why was my papa a rolling stone? Why was everywhere he laid his hat his home? And why did he leave us all alone? Well, about that moment, my throat was bothering me a little bit. I said, brother, I'm going to have to step out. I'll tell you what, I'll do your reading on YouTube Live. He said, that's just fine. I said, I'm going to have to tell your story. He said, that's just fine. Tell my story. He said he thinks that's why he walks this earth, so that his story can, would be, and should be told. So I'm going to do this brother's reading who came in wondering why his papa was a rolling stone and why everywhere he laid his hat was his home and why when he died, all he left them was alone. And I believe that the best deck to use to tell his story is the Hoodoo Tarot. Nice three-way split. Let's see. One shuffle on here. So let's get into it. Here we have Son of Knives in reverse. Black Hermit upright. Daughter of Baskets upright. Here we have Ten of Sticks in reverse. And here we have Son of Baskets in reverse. I feel as though Papa might not have been I'm wrong. Papa was a very smart man. But Papa just chose to use his smarts, or his smartness is what I'm hearing, for everything but what would unify him in his home. Papa took this magic and this power that he discovered that he had in his hands. I feel like Papa might have been an avid reader at one point in his life. He studied a lot. He studied people. I'm hearing imaginations. I'm hearing things. He discovered that he had the power and the ability to manifest, to make things happen, to make things be exactly what he wanted them to be, when he wanted them to be, and how he wanted them to be. This man lived in a place and space, I am hearing, of self-discovery. I'm hearing Papa loved women. Hearing some other things about Papa I don't think I need to reveal, but Papa loved women. But he loved girls. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that he loved young children or women girls under age. No, he loved women who had the mind of a girl. Because he could easily manipulate them to do for them just as he wanted, just as he pleased, and how he pleased. He had the power over them. See, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. See, they allowed him to come into their space and place and make it, and he made it his home, wherever. Understand? He placed his burdens on them. See, this man walked around burdenless. He realized once again the power that he had, the power that he held, the power that he upheld in his bones, his space, his place, his mental space and place. Good evening to the two that are in the room. Hit that thumbs up button. I'd like to be in the algorithm too. Papa was somewhat brutish in his approach. How he dealt with women, how he dealt with girls, these women who were girls in the mind. Everywhere he went, you see, wherever he laid his hat was his home. Thank you for the one thumbs up. Let's continue on. Here we have the Three of Knives. All right, interesting. Here we have the Strength card in reverse. Here we have Mother of Knives upright. Here we have the Big House. Right. Papa broke a lot of hearts. But I'm hearing Papa broke so many hearts to eliminate his heart being broken. See, I've dealt with a broken heart many times in my life. I feel like maybe in his childhood he was not going to allow that to happen again. Maybe it was this Mother of Knives who broke his heart. Maybe he had some kind of issue with women. Maybe he had an issue with his mother. She controlled him. She manipulated him. She might have been one of their, what they call them, narcissistic moms. She weakened him. Now, you know, we don't want to have this attitude and be in this space or place and all this type of jive and shit that it's always mama's fault. But here it might have been mama's fault as to why Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home, and when he died, all he left them was a home. Mama ruled this roost, controlled things. I keep hearing manipulated his mind, played games with his mind. Her son, a child, See, Papa was a grown man. But Papa had the mind of a child. Stunted. Emotionally stunted. You know how they say, Mama didn't love you right. I don't think Mama loved him right. Mama controlled and manipulated Papa from the looks of things. When he was a child, see, this home, all he left them was alone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. He didn't have a home. His mama broke up the happy home. Or what could have been a happy home. Let's just keep going. Here we have the 4 baskets in reverse. The ancestors. And here we have Mother of Coins. I don't think Papa believed in love. See, the love I've known from a woman to a man I'm hearing was Mama's broken up love. She manipulated. She controlled me. She ruled me. She ruled the roost. And my Papa says, had no say. I feel that if love was shown to Papa, we know what the fuck it was. And didn't want him no damn way. I feel like this might have been what they call one of them generational curses. He did it. Maybe his Papa did it, his Mama did it. They Mama, they Papa did it. They Mama, they Papa did it, and so on and so on and so forth. And here we are. The only thing this man cared about was manipulation. Cheating, lying, stealing, manipulating any way he can to live his life of leisure. He was that storefront preaching and begging and buying and stealing and all of that type of shit to pay his fucking bills, goddamn. And he probably manipulated those women who could take care of his motherfucking ass. Let's keep going. Here we have the 8 of Coins. Upright. The big queen. In reverse. And the daughter of Knives. Upright. You know, like I said, Papa was smart, man. Papa would sit down and right there, execute this shit. Oh, here come another one, goddamn. I won't have to do shit. But talk my shit, manipulate, lie, steal, thieve. Get whatever it is that I want out of this bitch. Here comes another one. Because see, every bitch was his mom. And client, if you watching, who came in my office, and I know you are, even yours. That's all he left y'all was alone. Left you with nothing. Took everything that your mama had. Her heart, her soul, her might, her tears, her money. Wasn't no woman his big queen. Wasn't no woman his empress. Wasn't no woman his mate. Whether you had his babies or not. Whether she had his babies or not. I can tell you what, Papa left those souls that he touched tormented. But why was Papa a rolling stone? Like I said, I feel like this was some childhood shit. Mama controlled the shit, ruled the roost, probably was highly manipulative. Like I said, one of the narcissistic mamas. Ruled him, ruled his pappy, her husband, and ruled your papa. I'm hearing Papa say, I will never love again. Mama's love is all I've known. And Mama's love, it was a goddamn to my soul. It's a sad story. It's a sad story, but this is why Papa was a Rolling Stone, and why wherever he laid his head was his motherfucking home. And when he died, he left y'all all alone. Now I'll pull a couple more cards. See if we hear anything different. I seriously doubt it. Here we have the Prince of Pentacles. Land journey sensuous. Papa was sensuous. I'm hearing very. But he was a couch potato and obsessed with money. That's all that mattered to him. The Prince of Cups. You see, like I said, he was a man, but he was a prince. He was a boy. He was a child. Here we have this journey again. Water journey, land journey. Okay. He was highly idealistic, but he hid his emotions and romantic. But his romantic, he had these romantic fantasies. They sound ick to say, but mama, I don't mean sexual. You know how they say, little boy and his mama, love my mama. I'll always love my mama. She's my favorite girl. Okay. Eight of Cups. Clients. Your papa had a fear of intimacy. And he was always letting go. When the intimacy came close to him, when the real love came close to him, that nigga said, no, motherfucker. No, thank you. Here we go again. Prince, but Princess of Cups. I told you he liked women, but he liked women who had the minds of a girl. They were sensitive, tender, but their judgment was cloudy. He liked that. To play on that real good. And so he did. And here we have the Seven of Swords. He was very deceptive and very strategic. Didn't I tell you? I will sit down and write this shit out. Oh, here come another one. I know what to do with this shit. Ten of Swords. And what these girls got, what these women got with the minds of girls was unmerited hatred and betrayal. He betrayed them. Okay. Nine of Swords. Sorrow and anguish is all he brought to their lives, because that's all he knew, and in that he found his strength. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home, and when he died, all he left y'all was alone. See, but it made him feel like a king. It made him feel strong to hurt these women because of the relationship he had with his first woman, his mom. He came off tolerant and sincere, but he wouldn't commit. He might have even been, well, we did hear, drinking. All the time drinking. He was a fucking alcoholic, goddamn. Okay. But see, what you need to do, my friend, here, the Ace of Wands upright, is take new action. You feel blocked. You feel like you can't move on. That's why you came to see Dr. K. You can't move on, shit. Okay. But you got to take new action. you want the sun to shine in your life again. And what must you do? Let it go. Now, no answer might ever be good enough to understand why Papa was a Rolling Stone, why wherever he laid his hat was his home, and when he died, all he left y'all was alone. But there's your answer as to your question. Move on. You never met him, but there was something good about him. I understand this man was living in a world and realm of pain all his own. That happened long before you were ever even a thought. So love him. And know that there was some good in him, some positive as in us all. Just don't you be Papa. Don't you be the Rolling Stone. Don't have your son coming in my office one day saying, Dr. Kenyatta, I need to talk to you. And he tell me the same old story. Break the motherfucking generational curse. All right. May this have been edified to your motherfucking soul back there. You need to come see Dr. Kenyatta. Come on, see Dr. Kenyatta. I give you a read. All right. Have faith.